What is good, everyone? This is the Common Critic on the Fed by Ravens Media Network, coming at you live from our studio here in Ogden. As always, I'm Brandon, joined with me and Cody. And the prodigal son has, in fact, returned.
I'm back.
He's here.
I am back.
Dallas is back with us after a short. He was let go for a while.
Yeah, short sabbatical.
He was suspended without pay. Is what it was. Yeah.
We won't get into the. We can't talk about it outside the courtroom.
After the lawsuit, you can find it on public record.
My lawyer said not to speak publicly about it anymore. So,
okay.
But the important part is he's back.
He's back. Back again.
Back again.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
I'm ecstatic too. You texted us like just a few hours ago, right? And you're like, I'm coming.
I think it was like noon. Yeah. And you'd posted
the preview of our top 10 overrated movies.
I was like, I'm back. Can I come on? You could both were.
Oh yeah.
The gifts and
I can't believe you asked.
Oh well,
why didn't you just be like, oh yeah,
I don't know.
I'll be there.
Just show up. Just show up. Man.
Just start. Yeah. Just show up. I should have just surprised
best
you guys.
friends.
That would have been wild. That would have been wild.
Don't know what's going on with the podcast. Just knock on the door like, I'm ready, boys. Let's go.
Just whatever movie it is, we're going.
I think you could have won. I think you could have won this one.
You probably could have.
Yeah.
But I did leave work early to go rewatch it just for fun.
Well, and what we're talking about, and we decided since Shang-Chi, I don't know, I've heard it both ways, is coming out this next weekend. It's our next podcast. We thought, since that's the first origin story of Phase 4, why not go to
the first
origin story of the MCU? Yeah. Why not kick it off? Why not talk Iron Man? This is a big one.
I thought it was a great idea.
I mean, I don't particularly maybe love the movie, but I love that we're doing this.
Oh, welcome back, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm kicked off again. Yeah. So see you guys.
Oh, your lawyer's here. Dallas.
Well, you know what's fantastic is now that Dallas is here, he gets to go first on the scores again.
Have you guys been trading off back and
forth? No. We do audience scores and stuff to like fill in the void.
Fill the void of the third.
Yeah.
It's been going all right. There you go. Right. So you didn't say you loved it, so what are you giving it?
Oh, we're going scores.
Yeah, we're going scores.
We're getting it. Okay. 6.8.
Whoa, dude, that's way lower than I thought. You were all like, I don't love it. I was like, okay, like 7 something.
Not even a 7 yet, huh?
It is, okay, Dark Knight came out around the same time, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
So when I watched those two movies around the exact same time, I am in junior high.
Mm-hmm.
I was not like, oh my gosh, Marvel. Yes. I was like, DC is way better. And obviously not the same thing at all. But
now, yeah, right.
But at the time, Dark Knight, and even now, because I mean, my favorite Marvel movies have moved on to more of the newer ones, especially how great they have gotten.
Oh, yeah.
Like when we get into our list later, pretty much all of mine are from the later movies. But I don't know. I rewatched it today still, and I'm like, it's a little too long. There's just spots that I'm like, and I don't know. I was just kind of bored sometimes. And I get it introduced everything and nostalgia.
Well, try to remember when you first watched it.
I had watched Dark Knight first, and honestly, back then, it probably would have been like a 4 for me.
Dark Knight is blinding.
It blinded me at first.
Worth it or not worth it?
I understand that.
I was like 13 when it came out.
Yeah.
Worth it.
Worth it, okay.
6.8 worth it.
Okay. Yeah.
Cody?
So, this might be my highest score on this podcast.
Because we haven't done some
Everybody
of the
hold on to your butts. No, I'm going to give it an 8.9.
Oh, I thought I was going to hear 9 for a second.
I can't give it quite a 9, but I love Iron Man. So I saw it in theaters as well. And I might be a little biased towards this because this is the first movie I watched with my wife. This was our first date movie.
Oh, fantastic.
So we went to Olive Garden and watched Iron Man.
Classy man.
Yeah.
Unlimited soup, salad, and breadsticks. It's some Iron Man action. Look at this guy.
You know me,
Kim's listening to this, cheering on me in Dallas right now.
So, sorry to give a 9 there, my wife, but 8.9 does not reflect the date or the marriage. So, but no, Iron Man's great. I love this movie. I can watch it. If it's on, I'll watch it. I mean, there's not really that much I have a gripe about. You said it was a little long. I think the pacing's great. So, but I mean, like I said, there's nothing really to gripe about. other than maybe whatever his name is, Terrence. What's his name?
Terrence Howard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don Cheadle's so much better.
So much better. But I wouldn't have known that unless we had Don Cheadle. But
Unless Terrence Howard
there's my score.
worth it
up.
Of course, yeah.
Worth it. If you haven't seen Iron Man, I don't know where you've been.
You've been living under a rock.
Yes.
I'm going to say my score, and then I want you to pause before you freak out because I have one thing to justify it, okay? Cody, you were an 8.9. Mm-hmm. Switch that. 9.8.
Nice.
And here's why. I told you, hold on.
Oh, my goodness.
Robert Downey Jr. carries this movie unlike anything else. And I've made the argument, and I don't think I've made the argument on the podcast, but I'm going to say it. I think all the Iron Man movies are great because Robert Downey Jr. can carry and lead a movie so freaking well. Now, are the other ones up to par with this one? Not even close.
No.
Do I think they're trash garbage? Never going to watch them again? No, I do frequently watch them because when I need that Robert Downey Jr. fix, no pun intended. That's a messed up joke. I shouldn't have made that joke. I'm sorry, RDJ. But like when I need some RDJ in my veins.
Everybody loves a comeback story.
Yes, I watch these Iron Man movies. That's what I do. He leads so well, and I think it's no exception with this. It's the perfectly paced origin story, right? And it's dark and grittier because this wasn't technically Disney. This was Paramount.
Right.
Right?
Correct.
And so I was watching this. I'm like, man, this is a little more... This is heavier than I thought. So that gives us a total score of 8.5, all green.
Yes.
All green, yeah. Now, here's the thing. This movie is far more relevant right now than it was, I think. Now, obviously, that wasn't done on purpose, but I think the whole Afghanistan situation, right, and a lot of the Taliban taking our weapons and using them against us, right, I couldn't help but think that when rewatching this. So I don't know if that swayed my score in any way, but it could have.
Good or bad?
Good. And no, that's a good question because you never know if something like this that reminds you of your normal time, your real life may sway you in either direction, right?
Yeah. So it's a 9.8. So what's the 0.2 that's keeping it from a 10?
I agree with Dallas. It is a touch too long.
A touch too long. Okay.
All right.
That's it. That's
look at that end fight scene between him and Ironmonger. It should have ended with the icing problem and some big going out. To have the whole distract with the energy source
making Pepper the kind of like low-key hero.
Yeah.
But also, that's I guess the other problem that I have. Tony gets hit with the same blast that Obadiah does, and yet Obadiah falls in and dies. Tony just gets knocked over, and he's just like, that hurt.
I don't think it was the blast. I think it was the falling. I don't know. I think there was...
Yeah. I know, but it knocks Obadiah out.
I think it kind of gives Tony a good working, maybe.
From what I saw.
I know, but I don't know. It's just the fact that like
maybe it was like a progressive blast where the beginning wasn't as
maybe because I guess because Obadiah is standing on the side and he's just kind of like so he's taking more of it.
Yeah.
Maybe. So on that point, you guys are saying that should have ended at the icing.
I can't think of anything else to cut out.
Well, I don't know about cutting out, but I like that because it shows that Iron Man's more than just the suit. That Tony is the real hero behind the whole thing.
Yeah, but we've already seen that the entire movie. I think the entire cave sequence was showing.
I think the icing also does that because it shows like how smart he was and how
he knows he's up against
his ingenuity and everything. And in the moment of their fighting, he's losing this battle, and he's like, "Okay, I might basically die up there because my suit will power down, but Obadiah will also because he'll ice up and boom, done."
And that's it. That's where you want it to end.
Personally,
maybe some sort of big final blow, and then maybe that tank missile he had.
I mean, that's part of my why it's an 8.9.
Yeah,
is the fight scene at the end. It's just it wasn't. It's not climactic enough for me. It was anticlimactic. It was...
yeah. I agree. But apparently that knocks it down less points. You and I have the same gripes, I think.
Wow. Welcome to the past 4 weeks.
I know. That's what...
or 2 months, I should say. We can't agree on a lot of things, but
we say the same things and the scores are totally different.
We are harsher judges, though, than you.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
That's what I've known.
You knock something like a 0.1 down, I'll knock it like a whole point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't bother me like that much.
Yeah.
Right.
Fair enough.
Clearly, because I watched this movie like 3 times a year. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm like, never skip anything. Right. But again, it's to my beginning point. I watched this because Robert Downey Jr. And can we just say, like, this is probably his best work in the whole MCU?
This movie?
I would probably say so. Endgame could be thrown up there.
Endgame's good.
Endgame.
I think
Infinity War.
I think Endgame's a very close second, but it's just
It's almost an Iron Man movie.
Endgame, he should have gotten an Oscar nod for. That's how good he is.
I mean, it's no Tropic Thunder.
Yeah. No, it's not.
He's not a guy playing a dude.
But the reason I think that is for the time period before Iron Man, right? When he's gambling at the big event, when he's bringing home the girls, right? And he's making all these sarcastic jokes into the that's the stuff I like to see, right? That's something that's really the only time we got it.
Yeah.
Right? Did we get it in any other MCU movie?
Because he's very carefree at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
He's just carefree and he's just spending money and getting women.
I guess that's probably one of my other gripes with the first Iron Man.
Okay.
I didn't need the love story right away. I don't need it.
Okay.
Like, because it's
I might agree with you.
it's kind of forced immediately.
Yeah.
Because he goes from, but I get like, I don't know, I guess you could say like, you know, in the cave and everything, he realizes, oh, I really need Pepper and like,
What's his name? I can't remember his name right now. Jensen?
Jensen, yes. Great character.
Kind of puts life in perspective, right?
great character.
I mean, that will change you, man. I mean, if you put yourself in that situation.
Yeah. And I
Right.
could see that. It's just, I don't know. I didn't need the love story right away.
I could see that. I kind of agree with that. It was, I don't know about force, but I don't think we needed it at that.
I think I agree with you, but I
that
think
one.
what's been blinding me is the sense that this was made thinking this was just going to be a standalone. They thought this was a one and done, right? There's that stinger with Samuel Jackson as Nick Fury at the end of the credits, and they threw that in as it's not going to happen, but we're just going to do it because
Just in case.
just being hopeful, right?
Yeah.
But this was made as a one and done, a standalone movie, right? So the forced love thing, you know, if it was a standalone thing, it could have been the opposite critique.
True.
Yeah.
Right? We could have been like, oh, why wasn't there a love thing if it was just this one movie?
Left wanting more, maybe.
But that's also, for me, it'd be the same critique. Just
think
'cause
so?
I don't need a love story in every hero movie.
I agree.
I don't need a love story in every hero movie.
Fair enough.
I would say 90% of movies at all, I don't need a
Right.
love story on.
And that's why I think I also enjoy the later movies, because all the original ones, they all have a love interest, and they all you got Peggy and you got what's Natalie Portman's character in Thor.
Natalie Portman. I don't know.
Jane.
There we go. Jane Foster.
You know what I
yes.
mean, though? All of them, you have that first initial love story, and it's like, you know, but by the end,
Yeah.
until Cap goes back at the very, very end, you don't.
Well, I think so. I think that's a good point, because I think what happened was they noticed the success of Iron Man, and they just kind of copied it.
This kickstarted the formula, right? Everyone talks the Marvel
I think
formula.
They just kind of copied it over and over again.
Yeah, for the origin stories,
Yeah.
especially.
Especially for the origin.
And then the second one's basically the same thing too. They basically lose the girl, or it's kind of like all three. They all kind of like lose the girl that they were interested in at some point.
Yeah.
They may get her back or not, but
Not really Captain America, because after the first one, there's
yeah, but they
hardly
try and force that love interest.
oh with
Peggy's.
Sharon Carter.
That's
yeah,
in Civil
you're right.
War, right?
Yeah.
Or is that Cat? That's not.
No,
Winter
that's
Soldier.
Civil War. That's Civil War. She shows up in Winter
And
Soldier.
Winter Soldier. Yeah.
No, I agree with you. Must be an awkward conversation. Hey, Peggy, one more thing I gotta get off my chest before we get. I made out with your niece, among a possible other things. But again, I'll leave that.
He didn't know at the time.
No, he had no way of knowing.
He did?
No,
That he'd go back and marry Peggy? No, he didn't know.
Oh, that part. Sorry, I thought you meant
yeah.
him knowing that she was.
that's like
Peggy's
that's like
niece.
Luke kissing Leia. He didn't know at the time.
Yeah, no, I agree. The Luke kissing. I mean,
Still
maybe not that
crazy
bad.
weird.
Well, that was
Shame on you, George Lucas.
George Lucas was just.
Yes.
Incest in your movies.
Yes, no, absolutely. Here's another thing. Agent Coulson. I often forget about how powerful Agent Coulson was in this first phase, right? Anyone else agree? Like because he is the glue that brings the Avengers together in that movie, right?
Yeah, I forgot how much he was actually in it.
Yeah, me too. If you had told me how much is Phil Coulson in this movie, I was like, oh yeah, he's just here for like 2 scenes, right? Like that.
That's what I would have guessed.
Yeah.
No, he's in it a lot more than I remember.
Especially the second half, and he's there to arrest Obadiah.
Yeah,
that's true.
Is there anything else that you noticed that because I've seen it a lot, so like this time I was like, I'm gonna like listen and watch more intently to things I haven't paid attention to before.
Yes, but because the organization that kidnaps him is the 10 Rings. Right, and we're watching Shang-Chi, the Legend of the Ten Rings. This is supposedly the origin story of this organization. So I was trying to pay attention a little bit, but
wasn't much there.
No, it wasn't.
As far as the 10 Rings go,
because they really don't go into the 10 Rings other than saying this organization is called the 10 Rings on the newscast, like an hour and 15 into the movie.
So I don't know. There's one thing that stood out to me. I just kind of went, because in Iron Man, I think 2, Iron Man 2, supposedly Peter Parker's the kid behind the Iron Man mask, correct?
Yes, that's what they say.
Right. I think he's in number 1. Now think about it, when he's flying around for the first time and he zooms in on the Ferris wheel.
On the Ferris wheel.
He's licking the ice cream.
It looks like
Tom Holland, because that's California and Tom Holland's all the way in New York. Spider-Man's all the way in New York.
With Aunt May, but what if he was on
there
vacation?
With
his parents?
Over there with his parents before they died somehow. All right, I'll give it to you. That's fine. We could retcon it.
Hold on. Jamie, will you look up that still? And I'll tell you that it looks like exactly like Spider-Man.
No, I could see it, right? And
he's got kind of big ears, shaggy hair. I got you.
Even if it doesn't look like Spider-Man, they could just say, oh yeah, by the way, that's Spider-Man. Because that's what they did with that one kid, right? Peter Parker suddenly comes in on Civil War and Kevin Feige's all like, oh no. Spider-Man has been around for a while. Remember that kid from Iron Man 2? That's what he did, right? Yeah. Up until then, it wasn't Peter Parker, but once we got...
I'm just saying, he should have went all the way back to Iron Man 1. Because it looked like him.
I mean, I'm fine with that.
That's cool. Anyway, just thought of that.
Yeah.
A little funny Easter egg, I thought.
What do you guys think of...
You guys are the first one to ever say it, so... If you start hearing rumors, it started all here in the Common Critic.
Cite your sources. Cody, Common Critic Podcast.
What do you guys think of the dude? Jeff Bridges.
Awesome.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I was going.
Yeah, okay. I had to throw in my Big Lebowski reference in the podcast.
I was going Tron. I was going to go Kevin Flynn.
You were going to go Flynn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because doesn't he say a line about something like shutting up the hippies?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
The arc reactor. Mm-hmm. That's like nice.
Yeah.
Big Lebowski and Kevin Flynn, most hipster people, and I think he does great.
Look, I think he does great. Ironmonger, not that memorable, but again, for a movie where they thought maybe this was probably just going to be the start and the finish, I think it's serviceable.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay. I enjoyed more of when he was like over in Iraq or Afghanistan or wherever it was, and he's saving all those people and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I like him. I like Jeff Bridges better out of the suit. Obviously,
I agree.
He's very menacing.
Yes.
Yeah.
He does command the screen when he's on, and
yes.
It's a lot of the credit to the writing too, the way that, because I remember in theaters honestly being, and I was young, so I don't know, but in theaters I was honestly like bamboozled. Right? I was like, oh my gosh, Obadiah is the bad guy. Like, I didn't see that coming at all. Like, this is absolute. 2008, I was in 8th grade, so probably like 14. I don't know.
Yes.
A stupid teenager.
I was very mature. I was like 20 something.
So you saw it coming, but I was like,
no,
okay,
coming.
Maybe I just wasn't used to twist. I'm doing air quotes because it's not like this isn't early Shyamalan work or anything. It's kind of a twist, right? Yeah. But now it's easier to see coming in these. New movies.
Well, yeah, because I think we're used to twists and turns, and you get used to the kind of the same old with these comic book movies. But when I first watched it, I remember I had no expectations going into it because I had no idea what it was really. Then I didn't read Marvel. I didn't. Like, I've heard of Iron Man. That was about it.
DC was dominating the movies at the time.
So when I watched it, after it was over, I was like, wow, that was a lot better than I ever anticipated it was going to be.
I think that was a huge help. I think a lot of people had low expectations for this.
And it blew me out of the water the first time I watched it. So I think that's what helped. But then again, I watched The Dark Knight later that year, and kind of overpowered the Iron Man for me. But
this is the shifting of the tides, right?
Yes, it shifted.
I mean, this is Dark Knight Rises is the end of DC dominating, and they've had a few spots every now and then, right? Maybe the first Wonder Woman, maybe Joker, right? A few blips on the map, but up until now, I mean, we've had this conversation before. Look at the early 2000s comic book movies. Sure, you have like the original Spider-Man trilogy, but Constantine, V for Vendetta, Watchmen, Hellboy isn't DC, but it's outshining Marvel, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic Four, like come on,
that was a terrible
right?
Fantastic Four.
This is why I think, and maybe to your point, Dallas, maybe there's some nostalgia blinding to this because the fanboys wanted to win, right? DC has been smashing us, and suddenly, this White Knight, this Knight in Shining Armor, Robert Downey Jr. comes in and kickstarts the MCU with Marvel.
Was there a glimmer of hope with the Hulk?
I think the Hulk maybe took it a step back.
No, the Incredible Hulk. So Edward Norton.
Oh no,
I'm not talking about.
You're talking the Edward Norton one.
Yeah,
that's after Iron Man.
No, it was before.
No, it's absolutely
Was it after?
Because Iron Man shows up at the end to Ross, and he's like, "Hey, we're putting together a team."
Hold on.
Does he?
No. I promise you.
They both came out in 08, didn't they?
Yes, they both came out in 08.
Okay,
you look up Iron Man release date, and I'll look up Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, they're both. Okay, yeah, they're both 2008.
Okay.
So let's see.
I'm like, I knew they were both.
Anyone want to place money real quick? Because I'm telling you,
Iron Man
is May 2nd, 2008.
June for the Hulk.
I told you.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, they're close, but
Yeah.
I like the Ed Norton Incredible Hulk.
Better than
I
Mark Ruffalo.
I don't think Mark Ruffalo with the solo movie could have done as well. Take this exact movie and put Mark Ruffalo in it. I think it doesn't do as well. I mean, it's still not fantastic.
Oh, the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
Edward Norton. That's a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I do like Ruffalo
Now
later for it.
They've built it around him, but
I think Hulk is the saddest thing that happened in the MCU.
yeah, it's
agree with that.
freaking Universal. Give them back already. Just give it all to Disney. Any final thoughts? We're running up on the end of the episode. Anything you want to get out that we haven't talked about? Are you all satisfied in what we've said? You can hold your peace if it gets brought
Want
up
to change your score? Did we talk it up enough?
No, it might have gone down.
Oh my gosh, come on.
Here, let's cut it off before he changes.
I know, but this was in preparation for Shang-Chi, which will be
Next week.
Have tickets to it. Premiere already. So you guys got to stick around for that because I've heard really fantastic things. Great reviews from it. Anyways, hey, thanks for sticking with us. This is The Common Critic on the Fed by Ravens Media Network.